May I call you Captain Zennstro?
Sure.
Good. You have been a very remarkable founder of startups, entrepreneur, but also you're a sailor. So how did you get actually into sailing?
Well, I was growing up in Sweden, and every summer we went sailing on the Baltic Sea in the archipelago with my parents, my family. So that was my passion from childhood.
And it grew, and now you have your own team, your own ship.
Yes, exactly. So I sailed, I raced with small dinghies like optimists as a kid, and about 2006 or 7, I decided to kind of get back into it, racing with bigger boats. I had a opportunity to do that, so that's when we started the RON team in 2008. We done Palmavela, I think, was ORC, but we wanted to mix it up. So this boat's been sailing a lot in IRC in the UK, and we want to mix it up a bit. And then when the ORC Worlds was here in Tallinn, we thought it was a good opportunity to come sailing in Tallinn as well. And it's good to test a little bit different type of racing. It's really, really nice sailing venue. It's interesting. You have with the islands outside and the bay, so it's been really pleasant to sail, and also for us as a team, it's the first time, so we're also discovering something new. It's very different if you look at the coast here in Estonia compared to the Swedish coast and also the Finnish coast. It's quite different. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, we have some pretty on the offshore was some big sea states, which was fun, but in here in the bay, it's not. It's very nice to sail because it's quite flat water. Today coming in, it was quite windy, but not a lot of waves, so. It was very nice. Well, it's the world, so we knew that there would be teams coming up really well prepared. We do not know exactly who our competitions were, but I must say it's really, really good competition for this regatta. So that's what we're here for. We love to compete. I think we're going in tomorrow because you also can have I think we're 1 point behind if you have also you can discard one race. Yep. But this is exactly what you want to come in. You want to come into the last day of the regatta, knowing it's going to be a good win, have a chance to sail and fight for the gold medal. So so we're very, very pleased with where we are on the leaderboard.
If to compare a bit more your activities in business and also in sailing, then what is more stressful, launching a startup or being on the start line of a sailing race?
That's a very good question. Think like when it's really windy and you're on the start line, and it's quite stressful, but it's a very short period of time. Yep. Launching a startup it's not a short period of time. It takes very long time to build a startup, so it's a very different type of stress. But I think it's probably more stressful to build a startup. I think, yeah. A lot, it's my way of relaxing, although sometimes it's stressful, but it's such a pleasure, both of course the actual being on the water, being propelled by the nature, but what's also great is that it's a teamwork, and it's all about having a team that works well together, trust each other, and then you have great camaraderie. So like now we've been here for over a week now, so then of course we need to get along, and it's just a great time with friends. Yeah, when you actually race, you have to be very, very focused on the sailing, but also on the offshore, for example, when you're sitting on the rail for hours and hours, it's a good way just to unwind and relax. And I usually it's a very, very good way to give perspective for your mind, for sure. I think in my experience, it's like there's a lot of similarities building a successful racing team and building a successful business, because it's all about people. It's about getting the right people involved with you, getting them aligned, shared values, and trusting each other. And that's very, very similar to building a business. So my role on the boat, of course, I drive the boat, but I need to trust the team and that they do their job. They're much better than I am, and And that's very much also my philosophy in business. As a founder, I always had this philosophy that you need to hire people who are better than yourself and trust them, but you need to lead them the way. It's like, this is our ambition, this is our strategy, this is our philosophy, how we work together, how, the values and culture. And that's very, very similar to team sport and building a business.
You connect the areas which have been traditionally very male-focused. Sailing, also technology, but for example, in overseas, we definitely see that there are more and more ladies who are sailing. So what would be your encouraging words for young girls who might be interested in these areas?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And unfortunately, it is very male-dominated. What we decided some years ago was actually my wife who was very great that she did. It's like, we need to have some females on the team. So we always made that, and I think we always had, females in the team, and I think it's much better. I think many times people say it's very physical, but there's a lot of the female sailors who are actually very strong compared to the weight. So it's a great thing. There's no reason why you shouldn't have mixed teams. And I think for young female sailors, they should there's no reason for them not to be as good as or even better than their men sailors. So this is round 7. I think we launched it in 2018. So there's a few years from now away since we launched it. But this is a racing boat. This is like, there's no frills. There's nothing inside. There's no toilet. There's no galley, and so it's not very comfortable, and it's really much about inshore racing. And as you can see, it's a very big cockpit, so you can work. And also it's all carbon, so it's also very stiff. So you want to have a light and stiff boat, and that's what this is. So you can see that it's like we can be much faster than some of the others. Also, we have quite a lot of sail area and a big bulb on the bottom of the fin to give you stability.
And I know it comes from Jason Carrington's yacht.
Yes, that's correct. So Jason Carrington built this boat. Actually, the first yacht that he built when he set up his own shop. We're sailing here, of course, outside of Tallinn in the Baltic Sea. And as I mentioned, I grew up also in the Baltic Sea, but on the other side in Stockholm. And it's beautiful. But the reality of that, the Baltic Sea is one of the deadest seas in the world. Yeah. Yesterday, when we were out waiting for the wind, we could see all the algae. So the algae blooms is coming down at the bottom and kills life. And that's because we have too much phosphorus, too much eutrophication. So it's really important that we all think about that we reduce inflow of nutrients in the Baltic Sea.